no mistake, and that was for 24 hours. If it works the same way for 23 hours and 50 minutes, it's not enough. That's it.
I think the most intense moment of the 24 hours of Le Mans for everyone around, for the fans, for the drivers, for the team, is the start.
One course.
Timo Bernhard will stop behind the wheel of the #1 car, which is going for back-to-back victories. The always fast Alan McNish will take the green flag in the #3 car. And the man who put his car on pole, Ben Trillier, will start in front in the #2 Audi.
I'd never started before in Le Mans. It's a long race, you have to be quiet in the car. And you know you're gonna start for 24 hours and everybody want to lead at the beginning. So yeah, it was a bit of stress.
The pressure's building up each day more and more and more until Saturday the flag drops and then we go racing. So it's a great feeling.
Keep the engine revs up. Currently temperature is 50 degrees. Need to warm the engine up.
Okay, crew, just do a last equipment check. Make sure everything's ready. Alan, mix one, or higher if you need it for the tyre.
There's a reason why I nearly always start Alan in the car for the beginning of a race. You know, he's like a Scottish terrier biting at the ankles of, you know, the French. He kind of sets the tone for the rest of the race for not only us, but also to our opposition. And we know that they get rattled by Alan being in the car at that beginning.
Prepare for start. Remember, no overtaking until you cross the line.
I really don't know if Peugeot don't like it, whether I start or not. If they don't like it, it's their problem.
This is a great formation start. Big blast of Peugeot diesel smoke from row #3, and McNish gets a great start. It's Audi, Peugeot, Audi. McNish has already dealt with one of the French cars. He's from the inside. He's going to lose that position.
As you can see, there are cars already being lapped.
This is only now the 5th lap of the race, and you've got this absolutely superb battle between Franck Montagny and Alan McNish. They go past the Ferris wheel, they come into the Ford chicane, up over the timing line. Alan McNish looks quicker as he comes out of the chicane, but he's blocked by Franck Montagny as they come across the line. But McNish tries to squeeze up on the inside. Fantastic stuff, this.
And I'm not sure that the clerk of the course might not want to have a word with Montagny about that. That's quite an ambitious block there. Montagny is a very brave young Frenchman in order to be dealing with McNish like that. Last year, the winning Audi went further than anybody else has ever been before at Le Mans, and this looks as though McNish might do it this time. He's in the correct position as he comes up. Now, can Montagny again outbrake him or not? No, he's going to let him go. Now, will McNish be able to get away? That's now Audi. 1, 2, 3.
It's a brilliant start for Bernhard and Trillier. They are running 1-2 with the Scott McNish closing fast. Bloodlines are showing. Audi and Peugeot are the class of the field.
This is a 24-hour sprint. These are new cars. We haven't seen them here before. This shows a massive degree of confidence from both of these teams, because they really can't afford to have any slip-ups, and they're driving so aggressively, all of them.
So much for an endurance race. Neither the Audis nor the Peugeots are pacing themselves. New designs or no, they're flying through traffic, looking for an edge.
Something happened, I didn't see, but if anything happened on the track, I think there is one of our car will crash.
I was watching the data itself and I saw that the car wasn't taking the trajectory that it should have done. And I looked up at that point in time and saw the crash actually happening. I think at that point it was doing its rollover over the tyre wall.
Oh, that is a monster accident. That is a big, big accident. And who on earth was that? It was one of the Audis. It's McNish. Alan McNish off in a big way, launched out the inside, and that is a very, very big accident indeed.
At that split second, you don't put what you're seeing on the TV into what's actually happened, and it takes some seconds for everything to piece together.
We saw the car travel at high speed into the barrier, and I knew immediately it was our car.
I looked across at Howden, who was on my left-hand side on the pit wall, and I could see that he hadn't had a response from Alan at that particular point.
Are you okay? Alan, are you okay?
Is the driver okay? That's the first thing that kind of goes through your mind.
Alan, can you hear me?
He didn't reply on the radio, and I got a bit anxious.
Alan McNish went up the inside. The safety car has been deployed. At that sort of speed and at that sort of corner, that is a very big accident indeed.
And for what seemed like an eternity, there was no movement. But then you saw that Alan was actually moving inside the car, and they started to get him out.
I released the belts a little bit, had a look outside, and I could see that there was nothing left of the car. There was just basically bits thrown everywhere. The survival cell, the monocoque, was all what I was sitting in. At which point I knew the race was over. I knew that everything we had done, I'd just taken the lead of the race, was gone. There was 23 hours to go, and it was gone.
Once all that kind of emotion is out of the way, then it's just downhill from there on. You know, then you've got, shit, that's it. Our race is completely over before it's, you know, even begun.
And that is the end of Tom Christensen, Dinder Capello and Alan McNish's 2011 Le Mans. I'm sure they will stay at the circuit in the Audi family spirit in order to support the cars number 1 and 2, who are now still lying first and second.
You have to get used to it, you know, that's kind of racing, and then you've got to snap out of that and, right, where can I focus my attention now? My car is out of the race. Now it's about, you know, the group. It's about Audi and the 2 remaining cars. Lena and Kyle, both of them, it was their first Le Mans as lead race engineers. They have to learn how to cope with the emotion, how to cope with the rough and tumble of the race itself. So I kind of made it known to both of them that I was here if they needed me.
Lena would lean on her mentor throughout the 2011 race. But at the moment, her focus is on her driver.
I knew Ben's first question would be, is he okay? I replied back and I said, okay, we'll check on him, because it was quite important at that stage to ease his sort of fears of what had happened to the sister car.
Ben, Alan is fine. Fine.
Okay, thanks for the information.
After more than an hour under yellow, the race resumes with the Audis 1-2 and increasing their lead by the lap. But the race won't be won solely on the track. Pit stops will be a pivotal component of the 2011 24 Hours of Le Mans.
No, this is a fuel-only stop. Fuel-only stop. You stay in the car.
Audi's strategy is to run 11 laps per tank before refueling, a single stint. Peugeot will stretch their fuel over 12 laps. By race's end, this could save the Peugeots at least 3 pit stops and upwards of 2 minutes. Audi will counter the Lions' more conservative strategy by driving the R18s all out, in hopes that their outright speed will overcome the extra time spent in the box.
Timo, the plan is for you to do 4 stints. 4 stints.
We tried to minimize the time in the pits. We did this with doing 4 stints on one tire.
Peugeot, on the other hand, will only do 3 stints before changing drivers and tires. Audi may be pitting more often, but they will make the longer full service stops less often. Whether Audi's strategy is better than their rivals remains to be seen. At the moment, however, a more pressing question has arisen.
What's happening with the Audis? Timur went across the line 4 seconds ahead, and there's Ben Trelliway just dragged past him. So has Timur had a little incident there, or has he got a problem? Because he's lost 4 seconds.
The car's pulling a little bit to the left.
Kyle, the nose has popped out on the left-hand side.
There's a report of some damage at the front of the Audi, but he's being caught hand over fist. He's about to lose second place as well, so there's something not right, clearly, for the number 1 Audi here.
The unscheduled pit stop drops the number 1 Audi all the way down to 5th place.
Now, Timo Bernhard has just given over the car to Romain Dumas. Paul, that was a short run for that car, presumably because of that damage was making it difficult for Timo to drive it.
It was a stop that they can ill afford with it all being so close at the top.
With the car sorted out, Romain Dumas goes on a 2-hour binge of speed. Dumas has moved up 2 positions and is closing in on the number 7 Peugeot, when he is quickly reminded how fickle this racetrack can be.
Oh, and the number 1 car is off the circuit.
Contact.
Has gone around. Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich resolutely kind of shakes his head. Doesn't look like there's any damage.
Ticket 5. No contact.
I've had a not quite so happy feeling about that car.
A crash in qualifying, contact with a back marker, and now a spin. Another victory might not be in the cards for the defending champs. As the sun begins its descent towards the horizon, André Lotterer is attacking the circuit without pause.
I'm enjoying watching André Lotterer going well. I mean, he's really charging hard.
With Lotterer lapping well, Dumas comes in for a full service change. It's the number 1 car's 7th stop, 1 more than Peugeot, who pitted all 3 of their 908s 10 minutes earlier.
That's another 11 laps done, 1 less than Peugeot is doing currently. And there's going to be a driver change as well, look there, because Mike Rockenfeller is going to be the next man aboard.
It's all action down there at Audi. They're a very efficient team, just hard at work, nothing dramatic or different.
Equipped with fresh tires, Mike Rockenfeller focuses on tracking down the race leader. In the gloaming, Lotterer has stretched the number 2 Audi's advantage to over 1 minute.
How is the pace?
Andre, pace is very good. Pace, very good.
You've got Lotterer lapping in the 333s, Mike Rockenfeller's Audi in the 332s, but find a Peugeot and it's doing well to be 334 or 335, so they're losing round about 2 or 3 seconds a lap to cars they're chasing anyway.
With 2 Peugeots in his rear view, Rocky has the number 1 Audi in position to overtake the number 7 Peugeot for 2nd place. At Le Mans, the night takes on a life of its own. Many of the race's deciding moments are played out under the cover of darkness.
It's really a strange feeling driving at night at Le Mans. It's really dark. You have these long, long straights where you think at that time you are alone on the track.
It's just you, the car, the lap time, and that little bit of vision, and you're really in a different world somehow, because you don't see anything else. And in the day you see the crowds and everything, and there you're just in that little world.
I really love to drive at night. Once you get in, you know, you are alone in the car, you do your 3-4 hours, you are so awake, you have so much adrenaline. It's such a great feeling just to go that fast at night. And that's something which is special in Le Mans. You know, you work 1 year to prepare the car, to get everything ready, and then you are in the car alone. You have to do your job. It's my responsibility in that moment, and all the people rely on me. You have it in your hands. It's unbelievable, the pressure you have. And if you make a mistake, you know, I mean, we are all human beings. It can happen in Le Mans. But the influence in Le Mans is much bigger. Small details can go wrong, and the race is over.
Mike Rockenfeller looks every bit the champion. He's found rhythm, and with it, pace. Lap times are falling.
I quickly adapted myself to the conditions, to the car. You know, we were fighting back, was able to catch up.
Now, what's also just happened at the head of the field is something that we haven't had since the second hour of the race. And that is an Audi 1-2, because Mike Rockenfeller has got himself past the troubled Peugeot of Marc Genet.
How big is the gap to the leader?
The leader, 65 seconds, 65.
Copy.
And then I was on this straight after Mulsanne corner. I'm going to Indianapolis. I flashed a few times the headlights. I thought, okay, he saw me.
Rocky, do you copy me? Rocky, do you copy?
We tried to get in contact via radio with Rocky immediately, but there was no reply. And if there is no reply, normally this is not a good sign.
In the darkness hours, we get pictures of what looks like a model kit spread across the track. We can't identify the car. There's not enough left of it.
Andre was driving at the time, and he wasn't that far behind Rocky.
Andre, the incident is on the way into Indy. Debris on both sides of the track, so be very careful, be very careful.
I come up and I thought, wow, that's could be a big one, because I know we're traveling there at 330 kilometers per hour, and then I get closer to the scene and I see all these parts around, and I was like, wow, this was bad. And I was like, where's the car? And I couldn't see where the car was.
Holy, what was that? The car looks completely finished.
Copy that, Andre. We've seen it.
Who is it? Let me know as soon as you know, because I got a bad feeling.
Andre, it's Rocky.
It's never good when a hush falls over a racetrack. And again, for the second time today, unfortunately, we have a hush. There are stunned faces in the Audi pit. This is a massive, massive accident. You can't even really tell that that used to be a race car.
After Alan's crash, you know, you saw, okay, we're doing a dangerous race here. As soon as you go off the track with the speeds we're going, it's a big one, and there it was even a bigger one. You know, it's one of the highest speeds area of the track. I thought, wow, will I be the next one?
Everything was pitch black in the car, so I didn't know where I was on the track. I wasn't sure if I'm on the track still, if another car is coming, and then I don't remember so much anymore. I jumped out of the car myself, I don't remember it, and yeah, I had a headache.
The good news, Rocky went out of the car on his own. He's behind the barrier. He's a little bit dizzy, but they bring him to the medical center.
Andre, Rocky is fine. Rocky is fine.
Hallelujah.
This is what they're designed to do in the event of an accident. They are designed to send bodywork, said gearbox, said wheels and suspension samples. All of that disperses the inherent kinetic energy.
No one appreciates that more than Alan McNish. The Scot is back at the track after extensive medical checks.
You can rest assured that the guys back in Ingolstadt that have done the design of the construction of this new one-piece monocoque, they did it for performance, but they also did it for safety. And they go beyond the regulations with the tests that they do to ensure the safety of the driver. And right now, I want to give them all a very big hug.
A grim reality descends on Audi. They now have but a single car to fend off the mighty trio of Peugeots.
Instead of having 3 legs to your tripod, you'd gone down to 2, and then suddenly you were on a single leg.
The Audis are being driven on the limit because they have to be to stay in contention.
That puts a heck of a lot of stress and strain, not just on the driving crew not to make a mistake, or the mechanics not to make a mistake, but also the guys, the engineers, the strategy, everything else. It had to be right because there was no fallback solution.
I don't know that I felt the pressure as much on the pit wall, but back in the garage, I think that intensified quite dramatically because now it was one Audi against effectively 3 Peugeots, and they were still very strong and still fighting very hard.
All the people from all the 3 cars said, we now stand together, we concentrate on this one car, we have a common goal now to bring this car to the end and make a win out of it.
The whole team pulled together because you know at this point it's all or nothing. We had to stay ahead.
Okay, Ben, to confirm, the safety car is in this lap. No passing anyone until you cross start finish.
Copy that.
After over 2 hours of the safety car after Mike Rockenfeller's massive accident, we're back to green racing.
The number 2 Audi is alone, but at least it's alone out in front. There are still nearly 14 hours of racing ahead, and holding off the Lion will be exhausting work. Simon Pagenaud is closing fast in the number 9 Peugeot.
Simon Pagenaud on that last lap of 3:27.820 shows you just how hard he is trying.
The number 2 car needs to pit. It's Audi's 15th stop of the race against only 13 for the Peugeots. And this stop will be full service. Tires, driver, and fuel. It'll take about 100 seconds. If it doesn't go perfectly, Audi will lose the lead.
Box this lap, full service. Crew, he is 1 minute to the box. Coming into the pit lane.
Pit stop is fast, but not fast enough.
A minute and 44-second pit stop, so it looks like Simon Pagenaud has taken the lead.
Marcel Fassler is now steering the number 2 Audi. He has a lot of work to do. It's hour 13, and the top 3 cars are separated by less than a minute.
Simon Pagenaud at the wheel of number 9 has a lead of just 20 seconds over the number 2 Audi.
For the lone remaining Audi, conquering the French giant won't be easy. In fact, the effort will be superhuman. Good thing Red Sonja is around.
Red Sonja is our little girl, racing girl. To give a name to your racing car, it's helped you to be kind with her.
Lean, powerful, sexy. The number 2 Audi came by the name Red Sonja naturally.
She's this comic girl, like comic fighter girl. They showed me a picture, I was like, wow.
The team mechanics might have coined her moniker, but it's her drivers that have gained Red Sonja's devotion.
She always give you more and more. You ask for more, she gives you more.
You know, we make jokes about it, but it's not like a woman. I think it's a pretty... You can compare it, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a piece of carbon with a big engine in there.
Marcel Fassler, he's margin behind Simon Pagenaud now, 9.917 seconds. So it'll be interesting to see if Fassler can close, because that'd be huge if he could put the pressure on Pagenaud.
He needs to do that to send a message to everybody that he can run them down.
Easier said than done. Making up time in the darkness is a daunting mission.
Looks like Pagenaud has pulled out another 4 seconds on Fassler. That's not good news for Audi.
It was not the easiest stint for Marcel, because it was not easy to get the grip. You had to push really hard on the tires, but you didn't have that much grip because it was a little bit too cold.
It was a bit edgy, a bit tricky to drive. You try to go as fast as possible, but you have to take a little bit more care about the limit.
As daybreak approaches, Fassler's task is simple. Keep the number 2 Audi within striking distance of the leader. Fortunately for Audi, a slowly rising sun brings warmer temperatures. Fassler's grip is improving, but with the dawn comes a new challenge.
We had a few issues with visibility, just because of sunrise and also because of the amount of dead flies on the windscreen.
How is it, Marcel?
We lose too much time. I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing.
Under 10 hours remain, and it's time for the race leader to pit. Leaving the number 2 Audi alone,